Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today, a Thursday, here at MadWorldTarot. And we are looking at Prince Harry today and his attempts to claw his way back into the royal family. I've looked at his attempts to ingratiate himself with the Princess of Wales in the previous reading. Now we're looking at a story that goes Harry's big surprise for King Charles and Prince William. I'm sticking with the Santa Muerte Tarot for this one because we've heard that Harry is dead to Prince William. Prince William doesn't care. We see pretty much that King Charles doesn't care really either. Not that he doesn't care, but he knows where his loyalties lie, what his priorities are, and they're not with Harry. But according to the story, Harry is planning a big move that will leave the King and Prince William shocked after they snubbed him on major occasions. And the story says he's had enough, and I am quoting, of not being included in key events, and is going to fly over and force them to face him. Powerful stuff, isn't it? The story continues. He's still a prince. They're still a family. Imagine if he'd remembered that while he was writing Spare. And he's refusing to be cast aside like yesterday's rubbish. They can't turn him away if he shows up at the gates of Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle. Just a bit like Samantha Markle when she showed up at Kensington Palace, I think it was, and tried to force Meghan Markle to come outside and see her. So it's all a bit dodgy, you might say. And Meghan has kindly pointed this out to Harry, according to the article, and said it's futile and it'll just annoy the royal family anymore. They hate this kind of hot-headed behavior. They won't respond to it. So she's got her "I told you so" all lined up for when he comes crawling home, having been shunned by his father and his brother, as probably he will. You never know. They might open the door a chink and let him in just for a chat. But let us see. Still got the Santa Muerte Tarot on the tarot table, as I said, and I'm going to do a Celtic cross and read it from Harry's point of view. He's apparently thinking that he can be sent off to New Zealand and Fiji. I think dream on, Harry. I think we're at the very basic stage of opening channels of communication. He apparently hasn't spoken to William for years, and the King only in the most bare and spare, unfortunate word, terms when he rushed back a few months ago when he heard how ill his father was. So Celtic cross coming up. Harry, where he is right now, is this show up and shock them, rattle at the gates, let me in, let the has-been in. Apparently he is going to be in the UK for the court case, where we found out today that he has destroyed, allegedly, some quite important evidence relevant to the case. And he's going to be in the UK house hunting near Highgrove, near Daddy. And he is also going to be seeing friends because it's his 40th birthday. Does he have any friends who want to see him? We, of course, will be looking at his 40th birthday coming up in the next 3 months. There has been, as some people say, that never was. But anyway, Celtic cross coming up. Let's remind you, these cards still need a bit of juicing. Celtic cross, and it is tarot. Yeah, okay, they're starting to snap back at me. I like that as a tarot reader. And one more. It is tarot for fun and entertainment. It is, all my opinion, all speculation. It is just energy we read here, archetypal energy, because we're dealing with archetypes with the royal family, and that's why we do these readings. We learn so much from seeing how the royals handle someone like Harry married to someone like Meghan. And you know, of course, there are other situations in the royal family we read on. It's not all roses there, not at all. And of course there is a disclaimer in the box below, and please read it and form your own opinion. So there has been the big shock rattling at the gates. We've got the tower and it's in reverse. Now the reason I decided to dedicate today's readings to the has been is because this card showed up in my readings yesterday. The Tower, talking about Harry. The Tower showed up upright, someone whose entire world has come crashing down, someone who's really shocked. He's talking about a big shock for the King and Prince William, but the person who's actually had the big shock is the has-been with the Tower. It's in reverse because he is now scrambling to recover from the shock, from the Tower, from his entire world collapsing, crashing down. Many things in this Tower card, mental health possibly really at a very low point, and the Mummy Diana stunt with those children really displayed that. I think it was quite uncomfortable viewing, going on about Mummy Diana again. It could be divorce, it could be financial trouble, it could be the collapse of business deals, it could be anything. I'm speculating. It's all in this energy of this Tower. But because the card is in reverse, it's trying to recover from this. It's trying to, well, I'm still a prince. I'm still in the family. I'm still a member of the family. You can't refuse to see me. You can't cast me aside like yesterday's rubbish. Well, that's exactly what he did to them. I would say, that's my opinion. Let's see the situation he's dealing with. The King of Swords. That is the being cast aside like yesterday's rubbish. It's cold energy. We got the Queen of Swords when we were reading on the Princess of Wales and his attempts to reconnect with her and sort of worm his way back into her good graces. Cold, detached. We've got King of Swords now. We've got cold and detached. We've heard previously that he has been told to communicate through lawyers because obviously the royal family is concerned that things are being recorded, reported straight to the press. And so, talk to my lawyer, don't talk to me. That's the energy of the King of Swords. King of Swords is lawyers, doctors, accountants, advisors, spies, financial people, those kinds of people. It's the king himself in his regal, in his role as monarch, not in his role as father. So it's cold, detached energy, it's strategic energy, it's very shrewd, intelligent energy that has-been is finding himself having to deal with. And I think there is the shock, that he's used to being treated with kid gloves and getting his own way pretty much all the time. And now he's suddenly finding he's dealing with a whole different energy. Not what he expected. What's the problem? What's the challenge? We got the Page of Pentacles in reverse, money. Contracts, deals, access to money. Also learning. It's the student card, the Page of Pentacles. And it's learning a lesson. Learning a very hard lesson. It's time to grow up. It's time to become financially independent. It's time to look after himself instead of always expecting everyone else to fix his messes and pay for things and hush people with money, perhaps, like those girls in Las Vegas and others that allegedly have been paid off, staff who've been paid off, all kinds of things have been taken care of for him. But now it's time to learn some lessons and grow up. I'm getting a very big, loud grow up with this Page of Pentacles in reverse. But it's a big money card as well. It's a little money card. Isn't it an interesting depiction of the Page of Pentacles? Because there's a skeletal figure in a dress, sort of a dress, a barely there dress, who's digging into that bag and she's sticking pentacles in it. Possibly the problem is that a lot of the pentacles have gone the way of that skeletal figure as an archetype even. And not much left for him. And apparently there's a big payday coming on his 40th birthday. Some people say no, the late Queen Mother didn't leave any money for anyone. She died in horrible debt. But the other people say, well, she put it all into trust funds and then she sort of outlived her own finances and everyone else. She lived a very large life. And of course, you know, there it was. She was a big spender. Right, we had a little dog interlude, and sorry about that. He does somehow know that now's the time to make trouble while I'm doing tarot. Anyway, what is at the root of all of this? This desire now to rush home and make noise and surprise everybody. the Queen of Wands. She's shown up in this reading as herself, the Queen of Wands, fire sign woman, all the drama, all the attention, all the theatre, all of that. Right there, it's to do with her. Now, the card has shown up in the upright position, so it's her in her sort of potent form, wanting something, wants back in. I think they both want back in because they have failed so spectacularly in California, and so need back in, need to be invited onto the balcony, need to be going to state banquets, need to be going to Australia and New Zealand and doing royal tours. That thing to Nigeria was a bit of a disaster, and we haven't heard any more of that. So a lot of the pressure is coming from her for this to happen, which is very interesting because as far as I can tell, the marriage is a real disaster. For me as an energy reader, that's the consistent message that comes through, that it's all over, bar the shouting, bar the public announcement, but still the pressure is coming from there to not make amends with the royal family, not apologize, not anything like that, to force his way back in. And I keep coming back to this. He's still a prince. There's still a family. And he's had enough of not being included in key events. He's going to force them to face him. That sounds to me very Meghan Markle. It sounds to me very much like the Sandringham summit still rankles. And we want a do-over. We don't like the way it went. It wasn't fair. You shut Meghan out. You wouldn't let her phone in from Canada and tell me what to say. And we want a do-over. And otherwise, possibly, we might get some legal advice about getting a do-over. That's just a thought. That's an intuition. That's in me. That's my opinion. I'm speculating wildly. And it's all for the purposes of fun and entertainment and tarot. What's on his mind? And we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. They are beyond stressed. He is beyond stress. I think she is beyond stress as well. 9 of Swords, the nightmare, the disaster, the anxiety. What are we going to do? We don't have money. We're going to bottle some rosé. Somehow has been probably there, sticking labels on the bottles as we speak. We need to get over this 9 of Swords energy because it's in the reverse. We need to get out of this absolute nightmare we have got ourselves into, very similar to the Tower that is sitting there as the underlying energy. So disaster that the Parkles are currently staring into the abyss, and they need to be saved. They need some sort of rescue operation to kick in round about now. So let's look at the past energy, and this is being left out of so many things recently. How did that go? For Harry, of course, we've got the 6 of Wands. That's the triumph and victory card. The Royals, it's procession, it's trooping the colour. Trooping the colour was an absolute catastrophe for him. He apparently sat and watched it with poor Archie and tried to explain to Archie what was going on. I can't imagine that Archie found it remotely interesting. Who are these strange people? What was going on? And I don't think he's ever been near a horse, for instance. We never, ever see him at polo, anything like that. But anyway, that's their business, I guess. 6 of Wands is that whole thing, left out of it. There's Catherine, there's Queen Camilla, there's no has-been. That balcony did look quite spare, without the spare, and he wanted to be there. He really, really wanted to be there. He feels it's his rightful position. So what's coming next? Is he going to be outside the gates of Buckingham Palace, rattling at them and shouting, let me in, being carted away to the loony bin? What's happening? We've got, wow, pretty much the 7 of Swords. It's now in reverse. It showed up in the previous reading as its true self, the 7 of Swords. Now it's shown up in reverse. Confession time, repentance time. You've done wrong. When it's upright and when it's in the reverse, you admit your wrongdoings, you confess, or you are found out, you are exposed. And if you have ghosted people and fled under cover of darkness, you suddenly find yourself with police torch in your eyes, and what do they say? I can't remember. It's hold something or other. London bobbies. And then, you know, you're in it. You're in the clink. 7 of Swords in reverse. He's got a big, big confession coming, a big exposure, a big repentance due. But that's slinking back. Gone from the 6 of Wands, what he thought he should be doing, to this very nasty card, the 7 of Swords, because it's about deception and cowardice and many other things we won't mention here for supervisory reasons, censorship reasons, let's just say. All opinion, of course, and all speculation, you know the drill. So let's see his attitude to being allowed back and not being thrown out like yesterday's rubbish. I want it. It's mine. The 4 of Pentacles. Hanging on for dear life to status, to money, to titles, to position in society, in high society, in the royal family. It's about money. And I look over here when I say that, because I think that they're pretty short of that at the moment. And who's got buckets of it? Of course, the royal family, abundant supply. We want some. It's ours. And I get the sense again of legal threats floating around in this reading. It's an intuition, as I said the first time around when I got that idea. There's just a hint in here for me as an energy reader, and I just read energy here. There is a hint of a kind of a threat. And there is the hint. The King of Swords is lawyers. So let's move on and let's see what pressure Harry is under, although she has shown up in this reading now too. The Judgment card in reverse. Judgment is about second chances coming around again. The second coming. It's in reverse, not getting another chance. You don't get another chance. It's also a law card. So the law might literally be against you coming back. And we are hearing muttering about the line of success, not the line of succession, the Councillor of State thing being dealt with finally, meetings of constitutional committees, things like that, that possibly Harry is going to be iced out of his constitutional role in the monarchy, and then that is it, that is over, it's door slam for him. And it's there. This is a huge card. I can't express the gravity of this Judgment card in reverse because it is a sentence. It's a pronouncement. You are done. You are sentenced. You are judged. You are finished. So hopes and fears for the Harry if he does go rattling at the gates of Buckingham Palace. Fear is the World in reverse. It's a similar energy to the Judgment card in reverse. We've got the big hitters coming out now in this reading. The World is success, achieving your goals, very public success, triumph, closing that chapter, moving on to the next because you've done so well. You kind of up a notch now, and you've graduated to something better. The World is in reverse. He's very worried that he is not going to get his own way. He's not going to accomplish what he's setting off to accomplish by flinging himself on a plane, a private jet, no doubt, and landing outside Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle or Adelaide Cottage or wherever he thinks he's going to land up and rattle the gates. He is very, very worried. And we know it because we have the Tower and the Nine of Swords in this reading. He is very worried, and he has woken up and he has realized what he has done, or what I suppose he still thinks they have done, because he's still being coached by the Queen of Wands down there. For me, energetically, that's how this reading is playing at an energy level. Let's see how this little stunt of his is going to go. Is he going to get his way? Is he going to force them to see him? Is he going to weasel his way back into their good graces? What is going to happen? And we have the Ace of Wands. He is going to, I think, use the press. he is going to really make a very dramatic statement with this. I see in this Ace of Wands some sort of stunt being pulled here. It's fresh energy, it's a new idea, it's a new strategy that's very dramatic and very fiery and very in your face with the Ace of Wands. So I think we're going to get some real drama with that card. It's not telling me the doors are going to open and he's going to be embraced and darling boy and sobbing on chests and there, have the keys to Windsor Castle, all is forgiven. I'm not getting that. I'm getting, and he does choose his time to do his little scratches and barks and whatevers. But anyway, if you can hear strange sound effects, it's the Jack Russell. We have another week. Ace of Wands, I think that there's going to be real theatre and drama around this, and PR, a big publicity stunt, and with the press following him as he marches to the gates of Buckingham Palace and demands to be let in and reinstated. I think it could get quite tempestuous. And she did warn Meghan in the story that they don't like, the royals don't like hot-headed behaviour. They abhor it. Here it is. Ace of Wands, hot-headed behaviour. Might be quite fun to watch. I don't think for those inside the palace gate it will be a fun experience, but it's not showing me that there's any great victory here or anything like that. It's just showing me theatre and drama and temper and things that the press is going to absolutely love if it plays out the way I'm sensing that it might in this current energy. So there you have it. That's the reading for today. Thank you as ever for watching, and I may not see you tomorrow. We'll see. If not, I'll see you again over the weekend.